Now, on to Somaliland. Um, First of all, foreigners who speak about Somaliland are immediately in grave danger of being criticized and attacked on all sides. So I'm going to try to be very careful about this. Whether you support Somaliland's current status as a self-declared independent state or you don't, you have to recognize the enormous success that it has had over the past quarter century of keeping the peace and allowing for a chunk of territory where 3 million or so people have been able to live their lives in security and with some degree of economic recovery for a quarter of a century. And that is something we have to be very attentive not to allow to backslide. That would be a huge shame if that occurred because we weren't paying attention to Somaliland. We weren't trying to help as best we could continue to stabilize that zone of economic recovery, democracy, and stability. Why I say that there has been backsliding, I think all Somalilanders and anyone else who's been there know this, but there has been deterioration over the years in terms of, first of all, again, deinstitutionalization. We have seen the government shrink to a smaller and smaller circle of family members around the former president, Silanyo, the disproportionate influence of a handful of large companies operating in Somaliland that really disempowered the population, high levels of corruption that discouraged a lot of Somalilanders. Creeping authoritarianism at one point, slippage on civil liberties and the free press and freedom of assembly. And then for me, one of the things that worried me the most the last time I was there was just the level of clanism that has survived and in some ways gotten worse in Somaliland. Was discouraging. You see this in big ways and small. I mean, different neighborhoods are all carved up by sub-clan where you can and can't buy a house, where you can and can't set up a business. Every clan has got their own university. Every sub-clan has got their own bottled water company. What I saw was less of a sense of Somaliland identity than I have seen in the past, and more slippage to subclanism. Now, that may be temporary. I hope it's temporary. I hope the recent election has helped to reverse that, but that's never a good sign. And when you combine that with some other, I think, systemic problems in Somaliland, 80% urban unemployment in Hargeisa, the rise of gangs, which so far haven't been too violent, but they're pretty ubiquitous. They're causing more and more trouble. I worry about those things, and I hope that Somaliland can engage in a course correction on them for the sake of the 3 million or so people who live there.